Hey there Internet, it's Mickey here. So today we've actually got something kind of interesting because I thought I'd do a bit of a comparison. So I recently got this Hollow Knight Collector's Edition from Fangamer. So this is the PC version. I think it's also on Switch and PS4. But yeah, it's quite a fancy edition with all sorts of bonuses and such in it, as well as the game disc itself. But you may not know this, but it's actually not the first physical release that the game Hollow Knight got. So a while ago I got this boxed release of Hollow Knight from IndieBox, which was a subscription service for boxed versions of PC games. And it's also got the game on disc and various bonuses and whatnot. So I thought it might be kind of cool to compare the two and yeah. So let's take a look. So we'll start with the Fangamer release. So Fangamer, if you don't know, is a company that puts out all sorts of video game merchandise stuff. And they also did the physical release of Undertale. And they've also worked on some limited run games, like working with limited run games to put together the special edition. But yeah, they did this collector's edition of Hollow Knight. There's also standard editions as well, but yeah, knowing me, I'm going to get the collector's edition. So yeah, let's take a look around. So it's got this clear slipcase on the outside, and I think on the PS4 and the Switch versions, it's got the console branding on that, but no need for that with a PC release. So it just has the title and the logos, and then we've got the box underneath. So obviously you can see through there's a little pendant thing on the inside, but also the box itself is all this kind of gold leaf, whatever you call it, and the texture of the cardboard's quite nice as well. It's sort of a classy textured thing. And we'll open it up. So obviously first up we've got the pendant thing that you could see through the front. Comes out like this, and I'll give you a closer look. So yeah, that is the pendant. It's quite fancy. It's it's kind of cool, how it's a 3D under glass thing. And then it also comes with this little stand thing. Oh, yeah. That you can sort of display it in, I guess. Then next we have a little plastic tray with various things. So start with this, which is a comic book. So yeah, that is cool. Under that we have art cards. So you could sort of call them postcards, except they're thinner and don't have postcard stuff in the back. But yeah, there are 4 of them, and they've all got this nice sort of gold printing on them as well. And then under the tray we have the actual game disc, which, since this is PC, it's just a DVD-ROM. But obviously the PS4 and the Switch versions, you'll have the that'll be the standard packaging for that game. And I'll show you inside because there's a few extra things in there. So I cut away briefly just because I wanted to avoid showing you the cards that have the Steam code for the game and the discount code that you can use for Hollow Knight merchandise on the store. But yeah, those were in here on top. And next we have, obviously the game disc itself, but also this is the map. So yeah, that's cool. And then we have the instruction manual. It's always nice when things come with instruction manuals. Personally, I think everything should. And yeah, also you can see there's a reversible cover. And game disc itself it's just a DVD, but it does have the Windows, Mac and Linux versions of the latest version of the game on it, so that's cool. and it's good for people who are super concerned about preservation, I guess, because if it's all on the disc, then you're not relying on whether Steam is still up or what have you. Which is something that weird people like me worry about. So yeah, that pretty much covers this version. So now let's take a look at the alternate physical release from IndieBox. So this is the box. There's no fancy slipcases here, it's just cardboard box. It is, however, a numbered limited edition. I've got 231 out of 4,000. And you also see on the side it says it's 6 of 12 for 2017. So IndieBox would do one a month. And then in 2017 they decided, oh, let's number them on the side. So you can have like, this is the first release of the year, etc. Except 2017 is the year they stopped doing it, so they never released all 12. So yeah, that's a shame. But yeah, anyway, let's have a look on the inside. So it's just a box with a bunch of stuff stuffed in it. I've got the game disc, but I'll look at that after I've looked at the extras. So first one is this little plushy grub. Sorry if I'm not using the proper name, I haven't actually yet played Hollow Knight. It is, however, on my to-do list. And next we have the map. Now this is where we start getting to compare things, because I think this seems to be a fair bit bigger than the one that came with the Fangamer release. But let's do a direct comparison. Obviously Fangamer one's got this sort of like sealed paper design outside, but other than that, yeah. So here's the comparison. As far as I can tell, it's the same artwork, but the IndieBox release is much larger. So that's interesting. Yeah, all there is other than the game box is the plushie and the map. So it certainly feels like there's less extras going on than with the Fangamer release. But yeah, so IndieBox kind of would get their own custom DVD style cases made up with the logo. So yeah, that's what this is. And they did like standard edition releases as well that were just this without the boxes. But yeah, we'll take a look inside. So we've got installation disk. I'm pretty sure this is also Windows, Mac and Linux, but it would be an older version of the game, so probably not with all the free content packs. And there is a soundtrack CD, which IndieBox did, I think, with pretty much all of their releases. And we've got an IndieBox sticker, and we've got an instruction manual. So yeah. And of course now we can also compare instruction manuals. If you're weird like me and you care about that sort of thing. So yeah, this is the one from Fangamer and this is the one from IndieBox. And certainly like the IndieBox one feels larger. I'm not sure if it actually has more pages. But yeah, so this is 12 pages. This one is, it's already different. No, this one is 26 pages. So it's a longer manual with IndieBox. It is different straight away because this has like a table of contents. It has this sort of letter from the developers, which I think IndieBox did in everything. And I'm wondering if is the yeah, so some of the pages would seem to be the same, but I'm curious as to whether there's any content differences. So far, no. This is more than 12 pages, so I think the table of contents on this may be having a somewhat interesting definition of page numbers. I guess it's counting each 2-page spread as a page. So this has an extra page with the soundtrack listing and the IndieBox credits, and then it's got the game credits on the final page. So yeah, I guess the main difference is IndieBox has instead of a table of contents, it's got this letter from the developers, and then it's got an extra page of soundtrack and IndieBox credits at the end. So yeah, wasn't that fascinating? So yeah, I guess probably worth talking a bit about the differences between the releases. So obviously, the Fangamer one is, I'd say overall it's a fancier release with, like, it's a nicer box and it's got more stuff in it. I kind of feel like it is cool how IndieBox gave you the soundtrack, but also, like, this was very much on sort of the tail end of IndieBox's releases. As I mentioned, they finished up in 2017 without even finishing the year out. But I kind of feel like the quality of the extras felt like it went down. It's like, it would just be like, oh, there's a toy in it and maybe something printed, which, you know, you get, aside from the standard box, which is just game manual soundtrack, you get a plushie and a printed map. But also, one thing worth mentioning is I think these were cheaper. I think these were like 30, this was like 35 or 40 US dollars, and then the Fangamer stuff is like, I think 60. So yeah, it's just really kind of interesting to sort of compare two different companies' approaches to fancy collector's releases. And it's also I find it kind of amusing how everyone was like clamoring for a physical release of Hollow Knight when there was already one that existed. But we probably got a better release in the end out of it, so yeah. Not sure what else to say, except that I've been Mickey P, and thank you very much for watching.